when you think about the fact that these decisions being made by rich elite people who will never know a trouble in their life. I mean, this guy's a 32-time convicted felon and he's the fucking president of the United States. He's never going to face consequences. He's never going to be put out. He's never going to be have to sacrifice anything. And the fact that he's making decisions that means that Shirokuro can't get his transforms. That is a big fucking deal. That's
Yeah.
his life. That's his joy. That he should be able to. That's what freedom is. He should be able to make those choices to buy things, whether he wants them to be American made or he wants to get an imported Optimus Prime from Taiwan. That's his fucking prerogative.
Megadads Live is a mature-rated podcast. It's for the mega dads, the mega moms, but not the mega kids. So put on those earmuffs and let's go!
I'm gonna watch the NBA playoffs. Is what I'm gonna do.
Are you?
I am a very casual sports guy. I'm huge into NFL. I love my football. Love my football. But the other sports I don't really partake in, and it's a matter of like practicality. Like NBA, there's just so many games, and it's hard to watch. Like it's not like NFL Sunday where it's everywhere. It's hard to find certain sports to watch. So like I don't watch the NBA regular season. I don't watch hockey. I don't watch baseball. I never know when the games are on or how to find them. But when it's playoff time, it's easier to find, and the play level is just that much higher. So I do watch the playoffs every year, regardless of who's playing. The Timberwolves are in the playoffs, and they're doing really well. They just eliminated the Lakers.
Get out of here, really? Oh yeah, I saw them lose.
Yeah,
That
we
was
kicked
crazy.
Luka I call him Luka Donkey. Kicked Luka's ass.
That's wild. I can't
Bron
believe y'all
James
pulled
is
that
out.
off. Actually,
Yeah, in 5 games too. So
That's
they're
hard.
doing really well. It's just a lot of fun. I like watching. Like I said, I like watching games regardless of who's playing. Basketball is a game that I don't understand. Like I know you put the ball. I know you put the ball in the hoop, but when it comes to like penalties and
yeah.
I just cannot wrap my brain around how any of that works. It's so nuanced, and my wife understands almost all of it. So she always informs me. I'm like, okay, what just happened? This guy elbowed this guy in the face, but the guy who got elbowed in the face got penalized. Like, I don't get it. So she's always explaining the rules to me, but it's just a lot of fun. Do you watch any of it? Do you have any interest in
So
basketball?
like I'm really big into football usually, and
Yeah.
then just like hockey. But other than that, like I have trouble with baseball. I have trouble with basketball. It just depends. But when it comes playoff time and the like stakes are higher and the talent level is higher, then I'm in. Then I can watch and I can, enjoy it. So I'll be into anything. Like I'll watch anything at a high level. I'll watch like table
Right.
tennis and all that shit. So like, but I haven't been tuning into the NBA like finals or whatever.
It's kind of like when like the Olympics come around, right? And you see
Yeah.
when you see one of the normal sports, like you see basketball at the Olympics, and you're like, oh, I could really get into or hockey in the Winter Olympics. I
Yeah.
watch hockey during the Olympics, and I'm like, I could really get into this. And then when it's NHL regular season time, I don't. But you're a hockey guy, huh?
Yeah, hockey. Yeah, so we were watching the NHL finals, so like the Stanley Cup playoffs, and it was good. It was really good the other night. Like just like close games, final second like scores and all that. Like it was cool.
There's
Yeah.
just something about, like you said, that high level, high stakes. You know, everything's on the line. The players are all juiced up. They're really on edge. It just gets your heart pumping. I'm like, I don't really have any stakes in this basketball game, but man, I'm just on the edge of my seat as it's coming down to the wire because everybody's playing so hard, and you can tell how important it is. And yeah, it's really cool.
No lie, next to gaming, like sports has really helped me kind of get my head into something else, and I need that. I love that. I enjoy it.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Mega Dads Live, but we need to take a moment to thank the folks who make this podcast possible, and that is our Mega Dads Boost community.
If you enjoy everything we do here at Megadads, whether it's this show right here or our reviews or VR rundown or any of the other great stuff that we do, you can help support us for as little as $1 a month by going to patreon.com/Megadads. Not only that, but you get every episode of Megadads Live boosted 5 days early and completely ad-free. All you got to do is go to patreon.com/Megadads, pledge $1 or more, and you get your own personal feed. Our members of Megadads Boost for the month of May 2025 are the Nintendo Dads Podcast, Justin Masson, Bafo Yucks Dudes, David Snyder, Luke Porter, Andy Penzick, Timothy Olf, Jesse Waldak, Dave Soto, The Snack Network, Brandon Wilson, Brendan Myers, Estuardo Zenteno, John DeFrancesco, Brent, Emily Smith, Spokes, Eric Wood, and welcome our newest member of Megadads Boost, Paul D. The D in Paul D stands for delightful. And of course, we have folks hanging out in the free tier as well. Let's give it up for Brian Scott, Mike Salvino, Petey McD, Nima, Sonny Megatron, Michael Kwan, John Layola, One Track Gamers, Avi Cohen, Coconut Wizard, and Solara Clark. Thank you to all of our members of Megadads Boost. We appreciate your support. We appreciate your contributions. We appreciate you watching this episode of Megadads Live. Now back to the show. All right, that's a good time to pivot into the headlines.
Headlines, I love them.
This is going to be a headline-heavy episode because there is a lot happening in the video game industry and the world. We're going to talk about price increases because they're happening not only to you, the viewer and the listener at home, as you go grocery shopping and you realize that your bill is climbing and climbing. Price increases are coming for your video games. The tariffs are here. Trump is raising the price of your favorite pastime. And just last week, Xbox announced that they're raising the price of everything. This comes on the heels of course, Nintendo announcing that Switch 2 accessories were getting a price increase and that PlayStation was doing some international market price increases as well. PlayStation hasn't increased anything in America yet, but it's coming. By the time you're listening to this, it may well have happened. So let's kind of quick give an overview of what these price increases are that have just been announced, that are happening right now, impacting everyone, and then we're gonna weigh in on the politics of gaming. First of all, how you feeling about this? You ready for this conversation?
I'm super ready. I think we need to have the conversations. There's other people in the gaming community. You wake up, let's talk about it. Let's be real about what's happening. It's important. Yeah, I'm ready.
If you're one of these people that says keep your politics out of your video game podcast, you're just fucking unsubscribe right now because we are not that show. We're going to address the reality of what's happening. So Xbox has announced a price increase across the board on all of their hardware plus software. Their first party games are going to go up to $80 this holiday season. And your Xbox Series S and X's are going up as follows. Xbox Series S, 512 gigabyte is now $380, up from $300. That's an $80 increase. Your Xbox Series S 1 terabyte is going up to $430. That's up from $350. That's an $80 price increase. Your Xbox Series X digital is now $550, up from $450. That's a $100 increase. Your Xbox Series X disc edition is now $600. That's up from $500. $100 increase. Your Xbox Series X 2 terabyte Galaxy Special Edition, I don't even know what the fuck that is, but apparently that's a thing, is now $730. That's up from $600. That's a $130 price increase. In addition, all controllers and headsets are increased. Antonio, thoughts on the Xbox price increase?
So after Nintendo made their moves to increase prices and tried to just tell us that it was due to the value, right? It's due to the value of what we're doing, all the effort we're putting into this. When the Mario Kart news came out, they're like, watch the direct, that'll explain everything. And it turned out there was no additional selling points to the game.
Shit,
So
just more. Shit,
you
just more.
you come back to this idea of, number one, the tariffs are, they're stupid. It's bad policy, period. It's on a mountain of lies, like, oh, we're using it for a purpose to negotiate. There's no negotiations happening. It's just bullying tactics. And people, like, in China, they are like, no, be respectful, actually negotiate. This is how the world works. And the petulant child is just not, he's running things like into the ground, and this is horrendous. So the question becomes, beyond that, these facts, it's like the motivation and reasoning behind it. I saw this thing on Reddit, and these people were talking about the price increases, and this first commenter said, oh, the tariffs are that much, that makes sense, like the tariffs are the reason why this goes up. But someone else quickly points out, that's not how tariffs work. It's not 30% of the MSRP. It's 30% of the cost to manufacture the item. So this person did the math. They're saying it affects the corporate profitability of the item. So like a lot of things are sold at a loss, all right? So they were talking about the margin of everything. So once you add a 30% tariff, what ends up happening is, like, if you sold a product as a company for $25 and you wanted to make a certain ROI, now you have to sell that same item at $28.60 to make the same percentage return on your investment. So like, having this basic knowledge and understanding some of this points to Xbox's prices have gone up, not in relation to tariffs, but they bumped it up quite a bit above what they would have had to be at a reasonable expectation to keep their ROI. So it's like they're increasing it, and they're almost future-proofing it, because there's uncertainty. You have uncertainty, Adam. I have uncertainty. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Like, that's why when you talk about percentage of tariffs, like, you don't know. Tomorrow it could be 0, it could be 300%. Is it on the components of what's going into the system, or is it going to be like, oh, there's exceptions on laptops or whatever? Like, it's nothing but confusion, and that is all why, regardless of what the actual tariff is, the company just has to make a decision. They're confused, and they got to be like, what do we do? Be like, okay, we want to make our money. Corporations are, quote unquote, greedy. You throw that into the mix, and now you got some. They just made a best decision not best decision. They made a decision, and now we're stuck with it. $80 more for this one, $100 more for this one, and that's hard when you're not selling like hotcakes.
Deadpool would call this an educated wish. So basically, what these tariffs are is it's a tax. It's a tax on anything that is being imported from another country. And like you said, there's no real rhyme or reason. There have been multiple end goals thrown out by the Trump administration as to what they're going for. They're talking trade deficits. They're talking bringing manufacturing to America. They've thrown out about 3 or 4 different reasons as to why they're doing these, multiple various decisions that are in conflict with each other. So industries don't know how to pivot. And if you don't know how to pivot, if you don't know how to allocate your resources, and you don't know how to proceed, the only thing you really can do is increase your price. Because like you said, they're hoping for the best, but they have to account for their bottom line. And of course, that ends up being higher prices pushed onto the consumer. This is the only way to put this is, there's one reason that this is happening. That's because Donald Trump is an incompetent leader. He has no idea what he's
100%.
doing. He has no idea
That's
what
the
he's
takeaway.
doing. And he has not communicated in an efficient way to anyone what success looks like from the rollout of these tariffs. We don't know what the end game is. We don't know what he wants. So
it's a fact. It's an absolute fact, and that's what's important. This is gonna continue across everything that we're doing, from like your rights being stripped away, and like legal, like the judiciary being like undermined. Like, all of this is because of one dude and the people enabling him, and he there's no rhyme or reason to it that anyone can show. It's fucking ridiculous, and it needs to end.
And
And the more
it's compounded by the fact that he continues to change his mind every other day as well. So like he rolled out a blanket, what he calls reciprocal tariffs, even though a lot of these countries haven't done a fucking thing to us. But he calls them reciprocal. And then he repealed some, and then he's got a waiver on some things. Now we're going to be okay to the auto industry. Now this isn't going to apply to laptops. Nobody knows how to proceed, and it's just complete chaos. And the bottom line is, you can expect to pay more for pretty much everything that you buy.
mix in the lies in there. It's very important to always remember that lying absolutely constantly to your face is like what our top leader is doing to everyone, to other world leaders, to the media, to us. It's just like, oh yeah, this is happening. And then it's like, you can't trust a fucking lick of what's coming out of that piece of shit's mouth. Like,
All bullshit.
And if anybody acted like this at my job, at your job, at most job, I'm not even going to say all, because that's actually not true. But there's still, people still need to remember and hold on to what is actually normal, because this shit does not fly. He's just out of control. And the more people across gaming podcasts and your neighbors and your boss and your coworkers and your friends and everybody, we've been sick of it. Like, we didn't want this shit to begin with, but the more people wake up and you just come to this realization that, you know what, this should not continue, the better. We have to get there fast, and that's gonna help when everybody is wide awake and paying attention. And unfortunately, these prices that affect your hobby or your grocery bill or your car purchase or your just day-to-day employment, this is all important. And no more head in the sand bullshit, both sides bullshit. Like, this is real, and we have to do something about it. We are not powerless. They just want you to think that you are powerless.
I'm gonna run through really quick the rest of these price increases, but I wanted to point out something that was said in our Discord. I don't have who. I think it was.
I know
Bird.
exactly what you're talking about, giving you a chance to like search for it. I'm
Yeah.
very happy with the growth in the Discord community and with people coming in and feeling like they're, part of our little friend group we have going on, and supporting each other throughout the day to day. It's so important, and I think that connection and realizing, hey, there's other normal, sane, game loving people that I could connect with is huge. So if you're listening and you want to join our Discord community, we put the link to be able to join in the YouTube description. It's completely free. It's just a chat room thing, basically, that you can pop into, talk with us, vent, talk about games and what you've been playing. Go into the other channels if you just want to keep your mind off of this stuff, because I do that all the time for my own mental health. It's important. Do you find it?
Yeah, this comment come from Shirokuro73, and we were discussing the price increases and stuff like that, and the conversation turned to like collecting. I mean, look at behind me, and you can't see my wall over here, but people have seen. I'm a huge collector. I love getting my knickknacks imported from Japan and all that stuff. And he was discussing how he also collects like Transformers and action figures and stuff like that. And he says they all come from China. It's not clear how the importers of these can survive. I certainly hope they do. And then he made a comment about how obviously this isn't like the most important thing right now, because there are huge impacts happening all across nationwide. So many people's rights are being assaulted. People are being disappeared in the streets. It's horrific, the things that are happening in America right now. But I wanted to step in, not to contradict him and to like talk him down, but basically say all of these things are important.
Yeah, 100%.
The fact that our lives 2 years ago versus now, we have to rethink what we can afford, what we have to sacrifice in order to keep our families solvent and to keep our budgets in line. It's getting harder and harder. And yeah, Lego Bowser isn't the most important thing in the world on a physical level, but when you think about the fact that these decisions being made by rich elite people who will never know a trouble in their life. I mean, this guy's a 32-time convicted felon and he's the fucking president of the United States. He's never going to face consequences. He's never going to be put out. He's never going to have to sacrifice anything. And the fact that he's making decisions that means that Shirokuro can't get his transforms. That is a big fucking deal. That's his life. That's his joy. That he should be able to, that's what freedom is. He should be able to make those choices to buy things, whether he wants them to be American made or he wants to get an imported Optimus Prime from Taiwan. That's his fucking prerogative. And so like nobody should feel bad about speaking up about any of the things that they're having to sacrifice. We should be speaking up more about the things that we're having to, I mean, yes, people are losing their loved ones being deported, and they're trans people are being they're attempting to erase their existence and their prevalence in the country, but all of it matters. Every single part of it matters, from the big to the small, and we should be speaking up as much as we possibly can because it's all important. That's what America is supposed to be. It's supposed to be equal rights, equal freedoms, and the ability to live your life the way that you want to live it. That's not what's happening right now. So I encourage everybody to speak out about that. Anyway, Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controllers are going up to $85.
Yeah.
Up from $80. Joy-Cons are going up to $95. Joy-Con charging grips are up to $40. Everything to the Joy-Con strap is getting a price increase because of the Trump tax.
Joy-Con strap goes up $1 from $12.99 to $13.99.
Joy-Con strap. Fuck? It's going to cost you more to strap on. And again, as I said before, the PlayStation has raised prices on the PS5 by 10 to 11% in international territories such as Europe, Britain, Australia, and New Zealand. And you can pretty much guarantee that a US price increase is going to be next. I saw that Berto just bought himself a PS5 Pro because he was he did what I did with a car the other month. I bought a car in anticipation of tariff impact, and Berto bought himself a PS5 Pro. Everything's going to get more expensive. People need to be safe. People need to be smart, be mindful. You got to get the things before they go up. I understand that. But as like a personal word of advice to everybody, just be financially solvent. Make smart moves. Don't buy something just because you think the price is going to go up. Buy something if you need it, but save that money away, because I'll tell you what, I went grocery shopping yesterday and it was stunning. The bill was absolutely stunning. So everybody just be safe. We got to take care of each other. Take care of your families. Take care of yourself. Things are going to get more expensive. Do you have any final thoughts on this before we move on, Antonio?
I'm always confronted with this feeling of sadness, right? Like, it's like, I wish things were different, but they're not. So, there's so much that we can do for each other. I feel better when I know people are, in solidarity, that, I'm not alone. So I appreciate you. I appreciate all the people in the Megadads community. And I really need that because, it's a lot. It's heavy, and we're here at Megadads, like we always have, to try to give you parts of your life, something to be a little bit more light, and we'll try. It's hard. It's like a balance, right? It's like we should talk about it. We should talk about it more like we do, but it's also like we want to help lift you up and have some hope, some beacon of entertainment and fun. So, we're doing our best over here. We're trying.
I'll tell you what, my weekly moment of zen comes every Wednesday when I bring my son to karate class. I pick him up from school. We go home. He gets on his gi and he gets his bag. We jump in the car and we drive about 15 minutes away from our house to where the karate dojo is. And we take Highway 169. And every Wednesday at this exact time, there is a footbridge that goes across the highway. And every Wednesday, there is a group of people standing on that bridge holding up signs in protest to this administration. No kings, due process for all. It's amazing. Every single Wednesday, and every single Wednesday, this group is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They almost took up the entire bridge across this 4-lane highway this last week, and it just makes me feel good. And you can watch the news and think about how bad things are, and they are absolutely bad. No matter how bad things get, there are people out there who have the right beliefs and care about each other. And that's what the Megadads community is. So people, please come into the Discord. We're here to support you. But get out in the real world. Voice your opinion. Get out there, because there's a lot of good people. And if you surround yourself with that kind of positivity and you put yourself on a good path, you're gonna feel better, even if it's just for a little bit.
The place to be for Megadads socials is the Megadads Discord, where you can engage with your favorite Megadads as well as other friends of the Megadads every single day in our stress-free and welcoming social space. When you're a member of our Discord, you will get alerts for all of our content drops, so you never have to miss a review, a podcast, or a hot take. Partake in our fun weekly Megadads holidays like Waluigi Wednesday and Final Fantasy Sunday. Megadads Discord is fun, free, and follows you wherever you go. Join us today and become part of the conversation.
All right, let's talk about some games, man. We're here to talk about video games. I got a couple of VR titles that I've been playing this last week, and let's discuss Walltown Wonders and Walkabout Mini Golf. Walltown Wonders is a VR sim game developed by Cyborn, and this is the game that Clay talked about on VR Rundown. He did a review of this title. It is originally, look at this, I got a big white bright spot on my forehead. The sun's peeking through, the sun's shining out to show my bald spot. Anyway,
For those watching in the video version, Adam's got a big sunshine spot on his forehead.
Sun's coming in on
look very oblong. Yeah.
Why you subscribe to youtube.com's Megadad so you can see my blind spot. My whatever. So this is originally a MetaQuest title, an AR title, augmented reality, where you would walk around your very own house, your very own den or bedroom or dining room or living room or whatever, and you would project this small little village that you'd be curating via the pass-through camera. So the MetaQuest has this really nice, high-quality color pass-through camera where you're able to play AR games that put the game in your very own living space, right? And so in Walltown Wonders, you walk up to a bare wall in your living space and you build off of that actual wall. You put buildings on the wall, and there are little people walking through there. You forage for minerals and resources so that you can build new buildings or you can grow new crops, all sorts of fun stuff. And it puts the game in your very own living room. I really wanted to play this, but my only VR platform is the PSVR 2, which does not have a pass-through camera, at least not one that allows for gaming. It's got like a black and white low-res thing so that you can scan your room, but there's no AR gaming on the PSVR 2. So I was kind of surprised when I got a code for Walltown Wonders, because I was like, how does that work? There's no pass-through camera on PSVR 2. Well, Walltown Wonders has come out with a new patch that is a complete VR experience. There's no AR at all. They construct a digital room that you're able to play this game so that it's basically just a video game level, right? So you have a couple different skin options to choose from, different, I guess, internal designs. You can have like a loft or like a Venetian village background. So you can kind of select what you want your room to look like from a few presets, and then you play the game much like you would in AR. Have you played Walltown Wonders? Have you seen the Clay's review on Walltown Wonders?
I helped with the review a little bit, and I watched all the videos, and it was so intriguing. I like these like Civilization and these like Age of Empires, like things where you're like building out a town or a civ. Like I thought it was very interesting as a concept. It with this room that you have, again, you not doing a mixed reality thing, a virtual room to go along with your plotting points for your like different storefronts and such. how big is the room? Do they have to be small because they know that, these people are, I mean, it has to be smaller than your actual room. So can you customize the size? How does that all work?
It's really weird. I'm gonna say before I start really talking into what makes this version different. I'm gonna say this game's got some highs, this game's got some lows, and this game's got some weird. So you play this game, you get your presets. The rooms are a pretty decent size, but you're not walking around your actual space with your
Right.
legs. I mean, you could. I guess you theoretically could.
Oh, so you just stand or
You're
sit?
using your sticks to move.
Oh, you're moving around the virtual space with
You're
the
with the
virtual body.
thumbsticks or
Right.
with warping or whatever. So it's like
Yeah.
it's giving
Mhm.
you a stripped down
Right.
emulation of what feels like should be the real experience for this game. So
Wow,
I find
interesting.
myself playing Walltown Wonders full VR mode, and the whole time I'm just thinking, I wish I was doing this the way that I'm supposed like, it feels like I'm not
Right.
supposed to be playing it this way because I
Yeah.
know that other version exists, right? It's like when you see a movie in the theaters in 3D and then you go home and watch it on your flat TV and you're like, "Oh,
Mhm.
but this isn't the same thing." That's
Right.
how I feel the whole time I'm playing this game because I know in the back of my head I could be playing it in my actual living space.
Yeah.
They do a good job of creating like a believable living space in these presets. Like there's couches and entertainment stands. It's not like it's just a big blank room. Like you
Right.
have to navigate around the table. You have to place your buildings around the cupboards. There's plants and desks and windows. So it's like they emulate the same kind of restrictions and limitations you would have
Yeah.
playing this in real time in your real living space, but it just doesn't feel as satisfying because it's not your real living space, and
Yeah.
that's where I think a lot of the joy from this game really comes from is, like, I'm gonna put this little town right above my TV, and ho, that's so cool, that's my TV. But in
Yeah.
in the VR the PSVR version, it's like, "That's not my TV. That's not my couch."
I
You
love
just
this concept. It's a really cool concept, and now you're getting the gimped down version of every.
Exactly, yeah, so it's like it's serviceable. I get the same gameplay moments, like, I get to do all the same things, but I feel like so much of the charm of this comes from the fact that you're putting it in your own on your own wall, and these aren't my walls, so it just doesn't feel as satisfying. Another game that I've been playing that is extremely satisfying, we have talked about this, and we've even played this game in the community, is Walkabout Mini Golf has just come out with some new courses, and I bought one that I absolutely adore. These courses are getting more fantastic, more fleshed out, more unbelievably fun. Raptor Cliffs is the new course that I've been playing, and it is a dinosaur park. It is a dinosaur mini golf park, and I absolutely love it to no end. The levels are always really interesting to kind of walk around and look at, but with Raptor Cliffs, there's so much more exploration, so much more opportunity to go off the beaten path. Something about Walkabout Mini Golf. Obviously, it's a mini golf game, and you putt around all these interesting and fantastic obstacles. Of course, if it's a dinosaur level, you can imagine what you're doing here. You're going underneath the legs of a brontosaurus, or you're hitting it crossed by a velociraptor, kind of chomps at your ball. But man, they've done this thing where every hole in the golf course has like a hidden special golf ball that you can find.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
there's like a
love that.
treasure hunt element to this game. And in Raptor Cliffs, man, they do a really good job of hiding these golf balls in ways that encourage you to get off the beaten path and explore. And there's so much cool stuff happening. There's pterodactyls swooping overhead. Big T Rex greets you at the front gates at the very first hole, and he's just like, it's something that you just don't get outside of VR, where you look up and in the headphones you can hear his deep breathing, his bass-filled lungs just exhaling and
That's
growling
crazy.
at you, and it just you feel that size and scope, but in a
That's
fun
awesome.
but in a fun way. Like Walkabout has such a great low poly delightful aesthetic to it. You know, you've played this game,
Yeah.
right?
I've played it with Clay. We've talked about it on VR Rundown quite a bit. It's a staple of VR. Walkabout Mini Golf is something that you just have to play. It's so fun. It's very well done. These courses are like $3, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. I got this new
All
course.
the,
I think it was like $4 for
the
Raptor Tour.
DLC courses are very reasonably priced. I'm getting this one. I have to. And I think we should get together to play multiplayer because I think some people in the community have VR and that they would be able to join us. So I think this would be good. Does everyone have to own the same DLC to play that course, or can the host like own the course and people join?
Yeah, the host is the only person that has to own the course, and of course,
Okay,
there's
cool.
cross-play
Yeah,
playability in this game as well. So
that's awesome.
I played this game with JB and Brian Scott. We played I think it was like an Egypt level, and only one of
Cool.
us had the course. And
All right, great.
it's just a really great like hang game, you know?
Yeah,
There are some
yeah,
games that are so mellow and just relaxing. You just get together and you hang out. But the bigger the group, the more fun you have, right?
yeah.
So we absolutely should assemble a big dad group, and we'll have a tea time, and we'll play
Sweet.
Walkabout Mini Golf. This Raptors Cliff, I highly recommend it. But there's a whole slate of new courses that they've come out with, and like I said, they're very cheap and affordable. So as we have an episode talking about how expensive things are, Walkabout is a very cost-effective game, and it's a good time. I really enjoy it. All right, well, that sound right there means it's the caboose. The sun is blazing in my face fully now. I can barely see. We're going to give you a recommendation of something outside the world of video games to end this episode of Megadads Live. And I have something to talk about that I'm so excited about. I got myself an EV. I bought myself a Nissan Ariya, an electric vehicle. No more gas
Ooh.
stations for me. No more
Nissan Ariya.
no more
Awesome.
oil changes for me. I get to drive to work and plug this thing into my garage when I get home, and I love it. I highly
Nice.
recommend, if you are a person in the market for a new vehicle, look at the EVs. The range on these things are incredible. I can get 250 miles on a full battery or a full tank. There's no limitations to where I can go. I take it to work. I take it grocery shopping. I've only had to use a charging station twice in the month that I've owned the vehicle. A charging station is basically like a gas station. You know, you find a spot to plug it in for an hour. You go and Target and go grocery shopping or whatever you got to do. It's been very economical. It's been very convenient. I love my EV, and I recommend people check out this market because I think electric cars are the way to go, man.
I am in the market actually. Like, we need a second car for our new commute, and we're looking at EV for sure. Did you get the, like, you can plug it into a standard outlet, is that correct?
Yeah, so my car came with a level 1 charger. There are 3 different levels of charger.
Oh shit.
Uh, and the level 1 will literally just plug into any plug that you have in your garage. It doesn't need an adapter. You don't need an electrician. Just plugs in. And my commute to and from work is about 20% of my car's battery. And the level 1 charger will replenish about a percentage and a half per hour. So what that means is when I get home at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I plug in my car. It charges until 5 o'clock the next morning. So I get about 13% back on my 20% commute. So I'm only losing like 5 to 7% a day. And then on the weekends, like today, I just leave that sucker plugged in a little bit longer. I'm ready to go the next week. I don't have to go to a charging station unless I'm doing a lot of excess driving throughout the week, but it's a lot more convenient than I thought it was going to be for sure.
That's the type of data that I was looking for. One, I don't think a lot of people, unless I'm wrong, realize that you can put it into a regular, like, outlet, which I don't know why people aren't talking about this. But the second thing is, quick question about the charging. So the level 2 and level 3 charges, is it just that it's faster? Like,
Yeah,
you
so
can charge faster?
a level 3, I think I have to get an adapter for my actual car. I think that's
Yeah.
I haven't done any level 3, but level 2 is 1% per minute. And so
What the fuck?
here in the Twin Cities
That's
area, there's a
awesome.
lot of chargers around, and one of them is right by a Target by my work. And so if I go to that Target and I plug it in, I go shopping for an hour. I get groceries or whatever, I've juiced up 60% of my battery, if not more, in that hour, and it only costs about $15. So economically, you pay a lot more on the front end because the cars cost a little bit more.
Right.
But there's fewer components in the vehicle. You're not going to be changing oils. You're not going to be worrying about your exhaust, your muffler or your carburetor, because it doesn't have any of that shit, right?
Holy shit. That's awesome.
The back end of the car is extremely cheap. So in the long run, it's going to be a lot of cost saving. And of course, it's economic, or it's environmentally friendly. So
hot.
Look into it, man. It's great shit. What's up here, Caboose Antonio?
So, Wicked Woodrow on Twitch. Check it out. Twitch.tv/Wicked Woodrow. Just like it sounds. WICKED. Woodrow is WOODROW. Wicked Woodrow on Twitch. Check him out. Member of the community. Streams on Twitch. It's gaming related, but watching people play. You don't watch people play games for fun, do you, Adam? You don't watch like streamers just play through stuff, right? I do. I like it.
I know you love that. My thing is all about time capitalism, right? Like my
experience, I might as well play.
Right, like I've got an hour here. What am I going to do? Am I going to watch somebody play, or am I going to play myself? It has nothing to do with my opinion about streaming. I mean, we stream for Extra Life. We had Berto do our stream team forever. I just personally don't have a lot of time to partake in it, to consume it.
I hear you.
But I know a lot of people like to put that stuff on the background while they're working. And so that's a real viable way to do it as well.
Cool. That's my caboose.
Check out Wicked Woodrow. He is streaming and he's in our Discord, so you can chat him up, and he'll, of course, share out when he's going to be going live. Check him out. That's going to do it for this episode of Megadads Live. I am blinded by the light. I need to fix my curtains here before we record our next episode. Make sure that you join us in that Megadads Discord. Make sure you check out what we're doing over at Megadads Boost at patreon.com/Megadads. And of course, like this video, subscribe to youtube.com/Megadads, because we have new video content hitting almost every single day. All sorts of fun stuff happening. Take care of yourself, take care of your family, and we'll see you next week on an all-new episode of Megadads Live.
This program is powered by Megadads Boost, our public support program. You can join at patreon.com/Megadads. For over 10 years, Megadads has been bringing you the best in podcasts, reviews, interviews, family fun, and so much more. As an independent media organization, we rely on audience members like you to help support what we do, to ensure that Megadads can continue to bring you the great content that you enjoy. If you've been watching, listening, or playing along through the years, please consider lending your support by becoming a member of Megadads Boost. Memberships start for as little as $1 a month, and you can start collecting your Boost rewards from day one. Rewards like art cards, early access podcasts, reviews, gameplay clips, and so much more. Please visit patreon.com/Megadads and become a member today. You can help us continue to make more of that Megadads coverage you've loved over the last 10 years well into the future by becoming a member of Megadads Boost.